One of the hardest and toughest guys that I ever met was in my old unit. His name was Rich. And a saying that he always had, heard him say it all the time, it's not yours if you can't defend it. And the best example of that is gonna be our home. So what do we need to look at when it comes to securing our home or our property? We need to know outside of the home, we need to know inside of the home, and then we need to know the layout of our home really well. Even though we spend a lot of time there, it might not be something we think about. So this may seem like common sense to a lot of people, but again, it's not something we always rehearse mentally. So it's probably something you need to put in the back of your mind and think about in case that time ever comes. So to sum it up, we need to set ourselves up for success. To do that, we're gonna look at 4 things. First, what we're gonna do with the outside lighting of our home. Second, what we're gonna do with the blinds inside. And then third, the vantage points we have. And then on top of that, we're gonna throw in a 4th and understand white lights a little bit and how we'll use them if we need it. Pretty common sense that we probably want our outside lights on. One thing that people do when they're at home, especially at night, is they like to leave an inside light on, but we know that the outside's more important. Well, why is that? Well, when the outside light's off and the inside lights are on, you can pretty much see right into the house. And when you get inside, it's hard to see what's going on outside. Again, common sense, but sometimes we just need to see a visual. But if we take those lights and then we flip them so that the inside light is off and the outside light's on, now that gives us a little bit of a barrier, right? It's really hard to tell what's going on inside or see what's there. Also, we get some reflection off of these lights too that can cause a little bit of confusion, and well, that just adds a little bit extra layer of security for us. Usually when we look at blinds, we want to see from the inside of the house, they look nice and pretty, so they kind of slant down towards us. This seems to look the most aesthetically pleasing, right? When in reality, you want the blinds angled down and away from you wherever you're trying to look from. So from here, if they're angled like this and the inside is lower than the outside, that whoever's on the outside of the house can see down and in a little bit, right? I'm not gonna see completely into the room depending on how open and or closed the blinds are, but they will be able to see a few feet in, at least to probably here on the edge of this coffee table, or maybe even a little bit farther. They start to make some stuff out and see a little bit of movement. But if we take these blinds and we rotate them the other way, now we can see down at an angle towards the outside of the house. So you get to here, we can notice, get where we want to get, we can look down, see out a little bit, and then whoever's on the outside, to be able to see in at all, they've got to get low and look up, and well, there's really no advantage there. So we set those up, it gives us a little bit more comfort, a little bit more of what we can see, and makes us feel a little bit more secure. If someone does come into your house, you probably want to have some different points that you can look at, or vantage points. So we want to be able to get to a place, whether it's from our bedroom or from the bathroom and see into our living room or any of these things, and we just want to understand, if I stand here, what is visible to me? What can I see down this way towards my living room? Or if I come to the other side, what can I see from here towards my kitchen? Basically what you want is you want to be able to move from place to place and get as much view on your area, your living room, your kitchen, and the rest of your house as possible. Again, without exposing us to too much, right? But we want to be able to keep whatever is that potential threat or the break-in or what's going on in our garage or whatever it may be, keep that in front of us and say, hey, I feel comfortable here. I can move to the next spot. I can get to this point, stay behind cover in this doorway, and then see what I need to see to make some good decisions. So as I move down, I know as I go down the hallway, I have 1, 2, 3 places, feel pretty good about the bathroom. And from here, I know I can see right to that living room door. I take this around, kind of pile it off as best I can. Then we just talked about another video with some friends of ours. And now I can look to the kitchen and see the back door. If I feel pretty good about that, well, I can finish this off and we can just kind of narrow down what we're looking for or what we're trying to figure out is going on. So have those vantage points in mind, think about that. And that's something, again, you should probably rehearse. Again, we live here every day, but you should probably know how many steps it takes to get somewhere. And you should probably know exactly what you can see from what points. A lot of us carry lights on our handguns. Great option. Some of us prefer handheld lights. Both are good. It really doesn't matter which one you have. I would suggest, though, you always have a handheld light available to you if you don't have one on your pistol, or even if you do. I like to keep this one by the bed. There's also one in my truck, keep one in my backpack. They're just good little handy things to have around, and honestly, my kid loves to play with them, right? But I always know where they go. Simple rule of thumb for lights, whether it's on the weapon or whether it's on your handheld, use it to see and then turn it off. Only use it when you need it. See what you need to see, turn off the light. A lot of people tend to keep using it and they keep it on the entire time as they're looking around. Well, one, you're just wasting battery. But two, you're just telegraphing where you're at all times. And we don't want that. So turn it on, see what you need to see, turn it off, and you're good to go. Between the blinds, knowing the lights on the outside of your house and understanding how that works, and then the different vantage points, and then kind of how to use a white light, hopefully this helps you out. And honestly, one of the best things you can do is simply just mentally rehearse this stuff and think about it and put yourself in these different positions. For me personally, that's when I had to sit down and watch these terrible vampire shows with my wife because it was her turn to pick and she loves them, right? I'm sure you've seen them, Vampire Diaries, the originals, all this stuff. And you know, she wants to know, who is Elena gonna end up with? Who cares? Elena's an idiot. Stefan and Damon, they're terrible. Stefan, he's less emo than Damon, but they're both losers, okay? So it doesn't matter. I hope I didn't ruin it for you, but just take that time, do some mental rehearsals and go through it. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So hopefully this video helped you out and you'll be good to go. I ate too much pizza.